guys, what's going on? Before we get into this video, I would like to give a big, huge thank you to Miss Rita. Her name on YouTube is Rita Be Creative. She helped me tremendously on this project, and I just want to let her know how grateful I am for her help. All right, let's get into it. Hey guys, what's going on? Kissha J here, and I am super excited about the video today. In this video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. This is going to be an upholstery video. I have a customer. She brought me this chair. It's a beautiful Fanback chair. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to reupholster a chair. So if that's something that you've been wanting to do, if that's something that you want to get into, just keep on watching because I'm about to show you how to do it. I'll see you in a minute. In step one, we're going to be removing all of the trim and all of the fabric. You want to make sure when you're doing this, you're being extra careful that you don't hurt yourself on the staples. So you may want to wear gloves during this process. Now the trim has been removed from the back. This is a close-up of how it looks. All the staples that are sticking out, you want to go in with your pliers and remove those staples. Now we're going to go in and remove the back fabric. You want to make sure that you're careful when removing this because you're going to be using the old fabric as kind of a stencil or a guide to trace out your new fabric. Here is where we're going to be removing the fabric in the front. And again, be careful with doing this because you want to use the old fabric as a guide to trace out the new fabric. It's going to be, depending on how old the old fabric is, this step could be the hardest and it will take the longest because you want to be extra careful and extra sensitive with the old fabric. So we're going to be painting the wood on this black. So I sanded the wood down and then I sprayed it with a coat of shellac and I let that dry. And after that was completely dried, I went over with black paint over all the wood pieces. So this is how it looks once you've added the black paint. It hasn't fully dried yet, so that's why you see a little wet stain. After the paint has completely dried, then we're going to go in using our Magnolia Home Wax Furniture Wax to go over the paint to give it a little added sheen. In the next few clips, you'll see me tracing out everything. I'm going to be using all of the old cushion fabric to use as a guide to trace all the new cushion and fabric. Just a quick tip, when you're cutting out your new fabric, you want to give yourself about a 2 to 3 inch allowance. That way, when you're going to assemble the new cushion or fabric back onto the chair, you're giving yourself a little leeway so that the fabric will fit the chair completely. In this next step, we're adding buttons. This is going to give the chair a more elegant, sophisticated, and put together look. In order to do this, you want to drape your front fabric over the chair and you want to staple it in 4 corners, top, bottom, left, right. This is so the fabric will not move. In order to measure where you're going to be placing the buttons, you want to get you a ruler that can kind of mold with the shape of the back of your chair. And you just measure out where you want to put your buttons. You're going to do this by using stick pins. I'm going to try to zoom this in so that you can get a closer look on how those stick pins look once they're in position on where you want to put your buttons. So now you have all of your buttons inserted. So you're going to go around to the back of the chair and this is how it's going to look. All your strings are going to be hanging just like this. Now you're going to want to staple those strings. You see that little square piece of fabric there? Ooh, y'all forgive my hands. Ooh, I'm so sorry. That little square piece of fabric right there, I just put that on there because in my mind I feel like it held the string a little bit better. So what you want to do is you want to pull the string and you want to put that string underneath that fabric or either on top, and you want to staple it in a zigzag motion just like you see here, and you want to do this a few times. So here is where you see all your hard work come together. This is the part where we add all the cushion and all the fabric, all the new cushion and all the new fabric back onto the chair. So we're going to start out with the front. We're going to add the front fabric And then we're going to add the bottom cushion and the that fabric, and then we're going to move to the back and add the cushion and the fabric to the back. All you want to do is when you're adding the fabric, you want to make sure that you're pulling it as tight as you can before you staple it. That is what's going to get all the wrinkles and all the humps out of the fabric. You want this part to be as smooth as it could possibly be. So this is how it looks once you have the front fabric all stapled down and pulled together tightly. All this additional fabric, we're just going to take our scissors and cut that completely off. There's no need to keep that. And this is how it looks once all that additional fabric has been completely removed. Here we've added on the bottom cushion, and I call this the covering fabric. I do not know the official name for this, but this is just the fabric that's going to be covering up the cushion. You won't see this once you put the actual fabric for the chair and the seat cushion on it. This will not be exposed. But you want to do this step before you add the back fabric, because this fabric extends all the way to the back of the chair, so you need to be able to staple this down. Here's a pro tip for reupholstering for beginners. When you're doing a reupholstery job, you want to make sure that you're taking a mental and physical note, better physical note of how the chair was constructed before you started taking it apart. So every time you go to the next step and you're undoing something, take a picture of how it was before you started taking it apart, and then kind of just also take clips in the middle of you taking it apart, so that way you have a reference to go back to on how it looked before you start removing everything. have the front of the chair done, you can move to the back. And this is where I'm showing you where we place the base fabric. This is the fabric that you put on to cover the wood and the skeleton of the chair. Then you move on to the cushion, and then you move on to the main fabric. The last step is where you add the trim. I decided to go with the rope trim on this chair, and I just applied it using the hot glue gun. All you do is just apply the hot glue, and then as you're placing the hot glue down, you put your trim down right behind it, and it'll adhere perfectly. Hey guys, if you're watching this, that means you've made it to the end of this video. Yes, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a big thumbs up. If you really like this video, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way, every time I upload a video, you'll be notified. Also, there'll be some more videos over here that you can watch. If you hadn't seen those, what you waiting for? Go ahead and click that button. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.